In this video, I'm going to tell you how we were robbed while still in the van and how you can avoid to make the same mistakes that we made. If you're new to motorhoming or you're thinking of motorhoming, do not let this put you off. Don't go, oh, it's, no, that's too risky, it's all scary, whatever. Don't let it put you off. Believe you me, the benefits far outweigh the some of the potential issues. And if you're a little bit careful, and you listen to the advice I'm about to give you in this video, you'll be fine. Some time ago, we're travelling through France, and we'd stopped for the night at a on a French motorway. Well, not on the motorway, in a service station. What we did, we parked up with the lorries out the way, went to bed, and as usual, and I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning because we wanted to get a nice early start as soon as it was light enough, but I generally wake up about that time in the morning anyway. And as I came out of into the main part of the van, I could see a lot of the cupboards were open, and I thought, odd. Now my wife had gone to bed after me. I thought, what the hell has she been doing? Anyway, I heard her I heard her stir, and I said, have you left all the cupboards open? What were you doing? I haven't left cupboards. That's when it sort of like dawned on us both at the same time that we had been robbed. Now we got two dogs. They were still in the van and looked quite happy, quite normal. Nothing was wrong. And then as I looked around, I realised that the front curtain by the driver's door side had been ripped open, and the door was not fully shut. As far as we could tell from a very quick look, is they'd only taken money and cigarettes, nothing else. My computer was still on the table and everything else. So I went to leave to go off to the service station to report it, and that's as I closed the door, that's when I noticed that's how they'd got in, not through the driver's door but through the habitation door. Basically they'd used a screwdriver in the lock and just forced the lock open. I hadn't locked the deadbolt on it. Mistake number one: always use your deadbolts, because it's just an extra lock for them to get through. And they'd force that open, opening the door, setting two alarms off that were attached to the door. Didn't wake us. Presented with the dogs, which, well, we don't know what happened. We don't know why the dogs, they just dealt with them. Anyway, eventually the gendarmes turned up, and I had a look round, and they said, yeah, this is basically what they told us. This was a typical MO of a group that they think are Eastern European gang. They can't catch them because there's nothing to trace them by. They only steal cigarettes and money, untraceable items. They don't touch any electronics or anything. They don't have any trouble with alarms. Any sort of alarm, they can immobilise them instantly or something. They don't have trouble with dogs at all, any dogs at all. They go, I don't know what they're doing. They've got a dog whisperer or something, but they calm the dog instantly. And basically, they go through your van while you're fast asleep. Apparently, the target time is between 3:30 and 5 a.m. The majority of people are in their deepest REM sleep and are least likely to be disturbed by any noise or anything that they're doing. And yeah, their standard MO is to enter through the habitation door, and then leave via the driver's side door, which is what they did with us. Well, they managed to steal several €100 in cash and about 800 cigarettes. So, yeah, it was quite a lot of quite a lot of value, really. But they also damaged our lock on the on our habitation door, so we could no longer lock it. So what the gendarme also told us is that one of our biggest mistakes was staying on a motorway air. Their advice is never ever stay on motorway airs. They are not secure, they are not safe, they are targeted by thieves. You are better off staying on an air in towns, which are regularly patrolled by the police and kept an eye on by the local law enforcement. So, you know, tip number 2, or mistake number 2, is where we parked. Also, we parked up between the lorries, so we actually had, even if they'd cameraed up that area, which they don't, but even if they had cameraed up that area, they still would have got away with it, because we would have been shielded and blocked by the lorries either side of us. So again, don't park you know, in well hidden places. You might think you're hiding away and not being seen, but these guys know where to look, and they're targeting those spaces, those places. So so that's 2 tips for you there. So what did we do? Well, we used the dog leads between the table and the door to actually keep the door secure at night, until we got to Spain, where I went down to a ferreteria, which is a hardware store, Spanish hardware store, and bought a couple of really big hefty bolts, which I fitted to the driver's the front door, my emergency door. It's not really a blinking driver's door, it's so high up in the air. It's an emergency door more than anything else. I've only ever used it twice, but anyway, that's beside the point. And I fitted one to the habitation door. Now this meant we could lock ourselves in, but we couldn't leave the van because we couldn't lock it up. So we also got hold of Darren and Martin at we got hold of our friends at Motorhome Medics in Cheltenham. I'll stick a link below, and they posted us out a new lock, entirely new lock for the door, which arrived about, well, being in Spain, it arrived 3 days later, so it's really quick. These guys, they're great. When you need something urgently, they get it to you. So I got the new lock and got that fitted, which meant we could now lock up and go out. And but we still was just like the original lock. Somebody could use a screwdriver and break in again. So I kept the big bolt on the door, so at night we could at least seal up. And we're also not going to be parking in silly places. General rule of thumb, as far as I understand from the French and the Spanish police, is do not park overnight on motorways. They're not safe. No matter how secure your vehicle is, these guys are professionals. All you'll do is slow them down a bit, but you won't stop them. You know, even with our big super duper bolts and stuff, you're not going to stop them. They will find a way in if they want in. So don't make yourself a target in the first place. If you don't feel safe, really, if something doesn't seem quite right, don't stay. Move on. You know, you've got wheels on your vehicle. It's not like your house where you can't move it. You can move it. So move on. Go somewhere else. The safest place is in a campsite or on a secure air or a secure parking area. There's quite a few. We found a couple of 3 of them just off motorways, actually, secure parking areas for lorries, and they're quite happy to either let you stay for free or whatever the charge is. In fact, no, to be honest with you, everyone that we found, we've stayed for free. They've not charged. They charge the lorries, but they don't charge motorhomes. Jolly nice people. And they're secure. They're either locked up or they have someone on the gate all night. So you'll be really safe there. When we got back to England, I had a word with Martin and Darren, Motorhome medics, and they suggested a Yale type deadbolt. And yes, they stocked them, and yes, they sold me one, of course. So which I fitted, and that means we've now got basically 3 locks on the habitation door. So it really is quite secure. We feel quite safe with that. And I still have the big deadbolt on, the big bolt on the driver's side front door. Well, I hope you found this video useful. I hope it gives you some tips to stay safe. It's more about being aware of your surroundings and thinking before you do something, as opposed to spending lots of money on super duper wonderful cat 999 alarms, which these professionals can get round anyway. Don't worry. Just be sensible. If you found it useful, you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate those. If you've got any tips yourself, please stick them in the comments below. You can help us all. You know, there might be some other things. If you haven't done so already, please click the subscribe button down below. And if you click that little bell icon, you'll get notifications when I upload my next video. In the meantime, and until next time, please stay safe and enjoy motorhoming. It's a fantastic life. We love it. We wouldn't do anything else ever again. So, all the best. Before you go, if you're thinking of full-timing yourself but want to know more, or you just enjoy a really good read, check out my book. It's available now in Amazon, which tells our story of how we started full-timing very suddenly with no planning, and some of the hilarious consequences of that.